Hey guys, it's Abby. This is my first official vlog. Sorry if it's like super awkward because it's weird feeling like I'm talking to myself. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But, alright. So somebody requested that I talk about it's like being pregnant in high school. I didn't get to experience it to the full extent as most girls because I was only in school for 2 months when I was pregnant. But, I found out I was pregnant at the end of my junior year. But like 2 or 3 weeks after I found out I was pregnant, I dropped out of school because Patrick was in the hospital, and just being pregnant, I was really stressed out and I couldn't focus or anything, so I just kind of gave up. And so I stopped going and, filled out all my dropout paperwork and wasn't enrolled in school anymore. And over the summer, I was just kind of thinking about it. Patrick and I talked about it every once and again, like, what it would be like if I went back. And so finally, at the end of the summer, we decided we'd go up to the school and I would enroll. And so we went up to the school, and the counselor lady was a total bitch. She's like, well, I'm not going to give you any information until your parents are here. But at that point, I wasn't really talking to either of my parents. I lived on my own. I hadn't talked to them in a while because at the beginning of my pregnancy, they'd trick me into having lunch with this weird adoption counselor lady, and they kept wanting me to give the baby up. And so I just didn't really talk to them. So finally, Patrick convinced me to call my mom and have her come up to the school to get me enrolled. And so she came up and we talked to the principal, and you could tell that he just didn't think that I was going to stay in school or didn't think that it was going to work out. So finally we agreed that I would go in every morning at 8:30 and stay until 11:30 and just do an independent study type program where I could work on the computer or on books and just kind of do everything independently and get it done at my own pace. So that's what we decided to do, and I started school, and I was behind most people in my class already from missing the last term of my junior year. And so, I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me forever to get done. And I ended up getting done in 2 months, just working really hard and, putting a lot of effort into it. That's all I did for that 2 months. I'd work on it at work, I'd work on it at home, work on it at school, and half the time I wouldn't even go to school. I'd just work on it at home. And the principal and the teachers didn't care that I wasn't there because they didn't think I was going to stay in school anyway. So, it didn't matter to them that I wasn't there. But I got it done, and I was the first person in my graduating class to complete high school, which to me that's a huge accomplishment, and I'm really, really proud of it because I didn't think that I would ever graduate when I found out I was pregnant. And then, being the first person in my class when I was already behind everybody, that just shows that I kicked ass getting stuff done. And, I tell all the girls that I see that are pregnant, talk to your school about an independent study program because that's the only way I got done before Zia was born, and the only way that I probably would have been able to get my diploma. And so I'm really, really happy that I had my diploma. Being in high school when you're pregnant is kind of awkward. You get stares from everybody. Everybody is just constantly staring at you up and down and just oh, look at that girl, she's a slut. And they talk about you like you're not even there. They'll have a whole conversation about you, standing 2 feet behind you and just act like you can't even hear them. And I guess that was, for me, was the most frustrating part because I would just hear girls walking behind me in the hallway being oh, I knew that whore would get pregnant. And I just wanted to turn around and be like, I'm not a whore. At least I'm with my baby's dad and I'm engaged. Where are you at right now with your boyfriend? You guys break up every 5 minutes. But I just kept quiet. I didn't say anything, I guess it bothered me, but I knew that I was doing what was best for my baby by being there, and so, it kind of helped me get through it. You definitely get judged by teachers. You'd hear teachers talking about, oh, that girl had such a bright future, and she threw it all away for a boy, and, I was just I'm here because I care about my future, and I care about my daughter's future. I think that they should respect more when, the teens that get pregnant stay in school because, it would have been so easy for me to just be screw it. I'm not going back, I can work minimum wage for the rest of my life. That would have been so easy for me to do. I wouldn't have to get up early in the morning and get ready when I felt like crap. And I mean, even when I was on bed rest, like, I'd still go. And so, like, I don't know. I guess for me, staying in school was definitely the right choice. And I think that, you know, really for anybody, graduating high school is just a must, because it's hard enough to get a job with a college education. And, you know, without a high school diploma, you know, you're going to be stuck working at McDonald's or something. I mean, there's the occasional case where somebody gets a good job, but nowadays a high school diploma really is necessary. And I'm so glad that both me and Patrick have our high school diplomas, and Patrick's in college right now, and I start in the fall, and then I start at the police academy in January. And I'm so glad that I'm furthering my education, just because I know that it's going to, you know, be so good for my family in the future. And for me, I don't want to sit at home and be a stay-at-home mom the rest of my life. I mean, I love it right now, and I love being able to have the privilege of, you know, watching Zia grow up every day and being with her all the time, because most moms don't have that privilege. But, like, when she gets old enough, you know, to go to school, and Zayden gets old enough to go to school, I'm not going to want to sit at home and do nothing. So I'm really excited to, you know, get out and hopefully be a cop by the time I'm 21, so I can, you know, do something to help my community and help my family financially. But definitely high school is super, super important. So if you want any advice and you're pregnant with high school, like, just ignore all the bullcrap, because it's so worth it when you have that diploma in your hand. And, like, you know, people will be like, oh my gosh, can I touch your belly? And I hated that. Like, I hated when random people would just, like, come up and grab my belly. That totally creeped me out. But, you know, now that I think about it, those people, you know, were at least being positive about my pregnancy. You know, they were at least being supportive, thinking I had a cute belly or whatever. So, you know, at least there are some people at school that are gonna compliment you for doing, you know, what's best for you and your child. And then there's gonna be a teacher or two that really do care about your future, because I had a really awesome teacher for my independent study program. She would just kind of supervise the room, but she bought me a senior t-shirt, and she'd buy me lunch and stuff, and, like, she was super nice. And I'm so thankful that she was there to support me, because I don't know what I would have done, because it was really only her and Patrick that were supporting me at that point. So I'm really, really thankful for that. But yeah, I guess that's what high school is like, being pregnant, in my high school story. So if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask them on my Ask FM. It's Abbyjnelson. And then also, if you have any ideas for future vlog topics, just ask me on Ask, or you can ask them and just comment on a picture on my Instagram, and that's also Abbyjnelson for my username. I plan on trying to get a vlog done every day, except for the weekends, because I'm usually busy, like, doing stuff with Patrick and, you know, going on adventures and stuff on the weekends. So, yeah, I won't do them on weekends, and I'll try to do them every day, but I can't make any promises. I don't know how Zia's going to be, and some days she's super grumpy and doesn't want to take naps, and obviously on those days I don't have time to do this. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.